Good day, learners. In this video, we're gonna talk about modeling real-life situations using algebraic expressions. Let's have our first problem. It's about age relationship. Anna is 5 years older than her brother. If her brother's age is represented by X, how can you express Anna's age using an algebraic expression? So at this point, I want us to understand, what do you mean when we say express using an algebraic expression? What does that really mean? So to understand, we will use an analogy. I'd like to think of it as something related to language. Expressing in algebraic expression is like learning a new language. Did you get that? It's like learning a new language. So imagine you're learning how to speak math like it's another language. Just like you translate words from English to Filipino or any other language, just like in math, you translate words or situations into numbers, symbols, and variables. That's what algebraic expressions are. It's the math version of what's happening in real life. So we can break it down like this. Real life situation is the sentence in English, and algebraic expression is the sentence in the language of math. Alright? Now let's go back to problem number 1. Anna is 5 years older than her brother. Now we do not know what is the age of her brother. So we will use a variable x to represent that quantity. Now how do we show 5 years older? The word older gives us an idea that we will have to use addition. So how will we show 5 years older? X represents the age of her brother. So 5 years older than the age X would be X plus 5. X plus 5 will be the algebraic expression that would represent Anna's age. X represents the age of Anna's brother, and then plus 5 represents 5 years older. So Anna's age in algebraic expression will be X plus 5. Let's have another problem. It's about shopping expenses. A notebook costs P pesos each. If you buy 4 notebooks, how would you write an algebraic expression for the total cost? Now we do not know how much or what is the cost for each notebook. So we will use a variable to represent that. We will use the variable P for the price of each notebook. Now the problem says we bought 4 notebooks. Now, what operation are we going to use to represent the relationship between the price for each notebook and the number of notebooks that we bought? We will use multiplication. So we will multiply 4 to the price of each notebook, which is represented by P. So the algebraic expression to represent the total cost will be 4P. 4 is the number of notebooks that we bought, and P is the price for each notebook. Let's have problem number 3. It's about work and wages. A worker earns R pesos per hour. Now, we do not know how much does he earns per hour, so we will use the variable R to represent that. The problem says if he works 8 hours, what algebraic expression represents his total earnings for the day? So we know that the worker already worked 8 hours. So what what operation can we use to establish the relationship of R and 8 hours? It's gonna be multiplication. We will multiply 8 and R. So the algebraic expression to represent his total earnings for the day will be 8R. 8 is the number of hours he worked, and R is his earning per hour. Another problem. This time it's on distance and speed. A car travels at s kilometers per hour. So we do not know how many kilometers can a car travel per hour. So we will use s to represent that. How can you express the distance it covers in t hours? So we do not know how many hours the car has traveled. So we will use another variable to represent the time. We will use t. So we have here s representing the number of kilometers per hour that a travel can do, and t representing the number of hours that the car has traveled. What mathematical operation will we use to represent the relationship between s and t? It's gonna be multiplication. We will just multiply s and t. So what will be the algebraic expression that would represent the distance the car would cover in a particular number of hours? It's gonna be st, where s refers to the number of kilometers per hour that the car can do, and t refers to the number of hours that the car has traveled. Problem number 5. It's about water consumption. A household uses W liters of water each day. We do not know how many liters of water can a household consume each day, so we will use W to represent that. What expression would show the total water consumption over D days? So we do not know how many days did the household use or consumed water, so we will use D to represent that. So we have here W refers to the number of liters consumed each day, and D the number of days. We will use multiplication to represent the relationship between W and D. So the answer would be WD. Problem number 6. This time it's about movie tickets. A cinema ticket costs T pesos. We do not know how much is the cost per ticket, so we will use T to represent that quantity. If a family buys 3 tickets, how much or how would you express the total cost of the tickets? So we have T and 3. What relationship or what operation are we gonna use to show or establish the relationship between these two quantities? We will use multiplication. We're just gonna multiply t and 3. So the algebraic expression that will represent the total cost of the tickets will be 3t. Problem number 7. Mobile data usage. A person uses m megabytes of data per hour while streaming. We're not sure how much megabytes does the person use, so we will use a variable m to represent that. If they stream for 8 hours, we do not know how many hours did the person used, so we will use the variable h to represent that. What expression represents the total data used? So we have m and h. What operation are we going to use to represent the relationship? It's gonna be multiplication. We will just multiply m and h. So the algebraic expression that will represent the total data used will be mh. Problem number 8 is on school supplies. A student buys B pens, each costing C pesos. So we do not know how many pens did the student bought, so we will use the variable b for that, and we do not know how much is the price for each pen, so we will use c to represent the cost. And then notice it says here and then, so he bought another item aside from the pens, so we know that we will have to use addition operation here. We'll use plus. So the student bought P pencils. We do not know how many pencils, so we will use P to represent that. Each pencil cost Q pesos. So how would you write an expression for the total amount spent? Now we will multiply, or we will use multiplication to establish the relationship between B and C, and then we will also use multiplication to represent the relationship between P and Q, and then we will add all of it together. So the expression will be BC plus PQ. Problem 9. It's about fuel cost. A car consumes F liters of fuel per kilometer. We do not know how many liters can a car consume, so we will use F to represent that quantity. If it travels D kilometers, we do not know how many kilometers did the car travel, so we will use D to represent that quantity. And then notice that it says here, but saves S liters due to good driving. So we will multiply F and D, and then the product will be subtracted by the number of liters that the driver saved because of good driving. So what will be the algebraic expression? It's gonna be FD minus S. Let's have problem number 10. This is gonna be the last problem for this video lesson. It's about staircase steps. A staircase has S steps. S would represent the number of steps per floor. If a building has F floors, so F would represent the number of floors in a building. We do not know how many floors are there. There could be 3, 5, or 7. We do not know, so we will use a variable F to represent that. So we know that later we will just multiply S and F. So let's continue. But it says here, but the top floor is missing M steps. So take note of the word missing. This gives us an idea that we will have to use subtraction later in our expression. So what will be the algebraic expression that would represent a total number of steps? So we will just put together all of the variables and the relationships between the variables. So the final algebraic expression will be SF minus M. Okay, so that's it for our examples. We did a lot of examples in this video lessons. So now for your guided practice, we have here 3 items for you to work on. So feel free to go back to the start of this video so that you'll have a good idea on how to answer this problem. If you find this video helpful, so please subscribe, like, and share this video so that we will be able to reach as many learners as possible. And also do not forget to click the notification bell so that you will be updated whenever we will upload a new video in our channel. Also try to visit our channel. You can find lots of video lessons there that could help you with your math problems. Thank you for watching and see you on our next video.